Hello, everybody. I'm Ralph Vacchiano, SNY's NFL Insider, here with Tony Pauline, our draft analyst, also with draftanalyst.com. And we are talking about the New York Jets, who hold the 6th pick in the draft. Now, they might not keep that pick because their general manager, Mike Maccagnan, before the Combine, made it clear that they are open for business with that pick. He eventually walked that back a little bit and said, well, maybe not with the 6th pick, but it's certainly on the table that they might trade down. Do you think they will, and do you think that's a wise idea given what might be waiting for them at the 6th pick?
I think they really have to explore options to trade down. Number one, I don't like the spot that they're in with the 6th pick when you look at the players who may be there. I mean, they may fit some needs, they may not fit some needs, but there's no outstanding dominant player at the 6th pick who's going to alter the franchise right away. So what do when you're a team like the New York Jets? You trade down into the first round. You get extra selections. This way you can pick up a variety of players who can be first-teamers or can be depth players, and you really start to build that roster back up. I think trading down is definitely the best option for the Jets. Sometimes easier said than done, though.
Now, the philosophy I like, you want to get more picks, but realistically, when you're talking about a pick at the top of the draft, usually that's a special player, either right away or down the line. So I don't think you want to go too far. Where's the line where the Jets should not go beyond this pick because there's a talent drop-off?
Usually I would agree with you, but not in this draft because of the fact that the positions of need for the Jets, left tackle, cornerback, you'll be able to get good players in the bottom half of round one with that selection. I mean, if the Jets could trade down to, say, the 18th pick or something, or 19th pick, and then get a cornerback like Kevin King out of Washington, he's a day one starter for the Jets because of their need at the position. He's a tremendous player, and then you collect all those selections. I think if they trade down, they can trade down because of the depth and quality at the cornerback position and the needs there for the team. So there really shouldn't be any sort of red line in the sand for the Jets.
Right, as you say, trading down is easier said than done. You need a team willing to pay the price to move up. So let's pin that aside for a moment and assume they stay put at number 6. The names we hear most often associated with that pick are secondary players. Malik Hooker, the safety, Jamal Adams, Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback from Ohio State. The biggest name, probably, if you discount the quarterbacks, would be Leonard Fournette, the running back from LSU. If you're the Jets general manager, what player, aside from the guys that are going to go 1-2, what player maybe in that group are you saying, I really hope he's still sitting there waiting for me at number 6?
I'd say Leonard Fournette for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's the highest-rated player. Number two, he fits a position of need. He's a dominant running back. And three, it is also going to offer you the best options to trade down because there are going to be a lot of teams who select after the Jets, like the Cincinnati Bengals, like the Carolina Panthers, who may want to move up to get Leonard Fournette. So I think if Fournette's there with the 6th selection, it kind of fills a variety of needs and gives the Jets the best options. If they can't make the trade, they select for Leonard Fournette. He's a dominant running back. He's a big, powerful grinder on the inside. He not only runs over defenders, but he runs away from defenders. I mean, he is higher rated now than Ezekiel Elliott was at this point in time last year. So I think he's a day one starter for the Jets.
We'll get back to that in just a second. When you look at Fournette, you look at those secondary players, which ones do you think would actually be there at 6? Because if Fournette's that highly rated, I can't see him getting past maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars at 4.
Right, absolutely. So if you're looking at the secondary players, maybe Malik Hooker of Ohio State, who's a tremendous free safety, another area of need for the Jets, a guy who goes sideline to sideline, a ball hawk. The quiet name or the surprise name would be Garyon Connolly, Hooker's teammate. Everyone talks about Marshawn Lattimore, but Lattimore's not a great football player. He's a great athlete who's had a lot of injury problems, sort of like D. Milliner. Garyon Connolly's a tremendous cornerback. He's got great ball skills. The Jets did have him in at the very last minute. They brought him into the facility, so they do like him. They tried to keep it hush, but it got out there. He's a tremendous player. He's kind of the sleeper, the surprise pick at number 6.
Now let's talk about Fournette just for 1 second, because taking a running back in the first round can be risky. For every Ezekiel Elliott, there's a Trent Richardson. You get a lot of guys like Reggie Bush and C.J. Spiller who never quite live up to the expectations. When we talked to Mike Maccagnan about that, he said, he kind of gave the company line and the league line, which is that if you build the offensive line, you can often plug in a later round pick at running back and you could still have the same success. But he did say if a guy is special, Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley and Adrian Peterson, you may not be able to pass him up. So I guess the question would be, is Fournette that special?
In my opinion, yes. He's a second-rated player on my board. He's a 3-down back. He's not just the guy who runs downhill on the inside. He can turn the corner. He's a terrific pass catcher out of the backfield. People don't give him credit for that. But if you watch the LSU film, whenever they threw a ball to him, he would catch it easily. He makes big plays from the line of scrimmage. He ran a 4.5 at the combine. He plays faster than the 4.5. I think he's a 3-down back. He's versatile. You can put him in different schemes. Listen, I agree. I don't necessarily agree that you wait till you take a running back, but the fact is this guy is a dominant player. And if you pass up on him and he turns out to have Pro Bowl potential 2 or 3 years down the road, then the Monday morning quarterbacking begins.
Tony, thank you very much. And thank you all for watching. Make sure you stay tuned to SNY and SNY.TV for all of our NFL draft coverage.